Amantha Steinberg. I feel like I'm saying her name the right way. When I was watching Bodies, or when I heard about Bodies, I never thought that it would be an awesome movie. This thing is, this movie is something else. I just finished watching it and I had to make my review. When it comes to storytelling, one of the challenges that you have with the 1 hour 20 minute, or like I think in this case it's 2 hours, whatever long it is. One of the challenges that you have is, what story do you tell and from whose perspective? In this case, we get to tell the story. I'm sorry, I never really remember the characters' names, but we get to tell the story from B's perspective, and then we're trying to find who killed who. It's like a murder mystery, but it's a horror, it's a thriller, it's everything in there and all the chaos, and you get to see the different arcs of each of the characters, and the plot moves at a certain point, and then the cinematography is just on point. I think when it came out, I wanted to watch it because I'm a huge fan of Amanda Steinberg. I think her movies are always, when I watched The Hate, was it The Hate You Give or The Hate something? Um, that was an emotional movie and her performance was brilliant. What happened for me with this one, with Bodies, it feels like the growth. You can see the growth of the actress, but you see just the maturity within the show itself. Pete Davidson, like, man, come on. The man, whilst he's a comedian, he knows how to deliver in his character. And whilst, someone once told me that one of the greatest way to know that you've written a story is when people watching the story can relate to your characters. You have a beautiful story and you can keep your audience engaged. And for me, when I was watching Bodies, I related to B being the foreign kid who's trying to fit in with these people, but you don't, and you're surrounded by these rich people who are doing rich people things that you don't understand. And then you have these friends whom just don't feel comfortable having their certain friend around, which reminded me of Glass Onion for some reason. But I like the show, I like the movie, I like the twist, I like the plots. It's just crazy how the rules of the game become true life, and then how you're going through the night and you're like, damn, that person just died, that person just died, that person just died. And you're constantly trying to figure out what happened to each individual, what happened, you know. And I just like how they play on different tropes and on different things of reality. When they touched on the podcast bit, I was like, damn, man, I have a podcast. And do you know how hard it is to have a podcast, and how, sometimes I feel with my friends who are probably watching this, what they think of me or what they say about me when I'm not there. Like, man, he should probably get a good job or whatever. But we do these things because we enjoy them. We do these things because, you're passionate about them and you want to succeed, and you know that you're always one video away, you're always one podcast episode away from success. I digress. The cinematography in Bodies, it for me, I think what sells that movie a lot is the production design. Like, the script is great, but the production design and the colors that they chose, the color palette that they chose for the movie fits very well with the movie. And then the fact that a lot of it is shot in the dark, it's like, damn, man, what type of camera were they using? The lighting that they used within this movie is ridiculous, because a lot of your shots, when they're shot in the dark, means you have to either to shoot like with a very sensitive sensor, or you're pushing the ISO high. And then once you start pushing the ISO, you run the risk of doing some weird stuff. But the fact that they got an entire movie that's almost perfect for me visually is amazing. And each stage, you can tell each frame is well painted. You know, I think this is a movie that you can learn so much from, if just as a filmmaker, like in terms of character arcs, in terms of story arcs, and in terms of just how to tell a story, an organic story, an authentic story. There's a hurricane, they have to be outside, and then you get to see the characters interact with the elements. And then when the characters are inside the house, it's like you don't forget that there's a hurricane. and then how they incorporate socialism like real life, right? The reason Pete Davidson died is he was attempting to do a TikTok challenge, a stupid TikTok challenge, which is something that the kids nowadays do, and that then results in a domino effect of the whole plot line and how things move on, and how they touch on the use of drugs, especially in the entertainment industry by actors and stuff like that. I've been privileged to associate with certain actors, and you get to see the lifestyle that these people live. You like, man, all that money, all that fame, all that to lose your life to drugs. Come on, you can do better, but it's an enabling system in society. um I feel like the movie has a lot of these things, and how they distinguish when they're like, your parents are not rich or you are not rich, you are upper class, middle class. You're like, damn, bro. Like, what can I live, um so I really like on the way that they touch on all these social issues, but also maintaining the authenticity of the story, which is only allowed by having a good script, and also having good actors, and having good cinematography, good sound. And everything comes together, you just create a phenomenal picture. And I think Bodies, 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 if you haven't watched it, it's on Amazon Prime. You should definitely go check it out. It's a great movie. I enjoyed every minute of it, every second that I watched it. Amandla, amazing. Yeah, I have nothing else to say.